Wait, I'm back. So, no, that's not a win for Willie. I didn't break it; it crashed. But we'll backtrack a teeny bit, and just to recap what I said, I'm sure he sabotaged me in some ways. Stupid idiot. Anyway, what you told me, you said pester the hell out of them. You have to make yourself a part of the conversation. You have to put yourself out there and make sure your name is known, and make sure that they know, who you are, where you're going to be, your game schedule, your tournament schedule, and get out there and make sure that, they know that you're there. The next thing is ID camps. So they're either a day, they're occasionally overnight, but they're great opportunities. ID camps, also summer camps, great opportunities to get in front of college coaches. Ideally, the ones that have multiple coaches will come down to one spot to watch particular players, and at that point, it's incumbent upon you to play well and to show well. The other way to do that is video, and that's a service that we provide at Gradum. We're happy to come. Look, we'll video your games. We'll cut it up into highlight tapes. We've watched hours and hours of soccer. Sometimes, embarrassingly, had to watch ourselves. Had to make these tapes for ourselves. We understand what these coaches want to see. We understand how to get out in front of them and how to help you take the next step. So that's the how. The when. Now, so we know how. We gotta figure out when. So when do I start the recruiting process? 9th grade, you decided, okay, I'm serious about soccer. I've got the chops. How do I take the next step? Well, that's when you start to put together a list. Put together a list of schools and get an idea of where you want to go. Put together a list of schools that fit your profile from a soccer standpoint, from a social standpoint, and obviously, importantly, from an academic standpoint. You're going to hear the student-athlete speech 1,000 times. Not one that I'll give today, but it's absolutely vital, and academics can actually play a huge role in the recruiting process. We'll touch on that in just a second. So 9th grade, put together a little plan, and then 9th and 10th grade, start getting out there. Again, there's no restriction on how often you can email coaches. You can get in their ear as much as you want. Email them, call them, go to their house, invite yourself over, do whatever you have to do. There's no restriction on that flow of information. They're restricted in when they can contact you. So Division I coaches can't send official recruiting materials until September 1st of your junior year. Division II, it's June 15th, prior to your junior year, so the summer before you go into your junior year. And in Division III, there's no restrictions on that. But understand that if you're a sophomore and you're sitting there like, wow, I feel like someone should be reaching out to me, they can't. It's just part of NCAA regulations. They can't do that, right? But you can get in touch with them and you can initiate that conversation, and it's absolutely something that you should do. So, one thing I forgot that Willie will yell at me for is that you have to register with the NCAA Clearinghouse. I think now it's called the NCAA Eligibility Center. 40 years ago when we were doing this, it was called the Clearinghouse. Register with the NCAA Clearinghouse first, or this is all for naught, and it'll be a big stink, and the NCAA can be a little bit rigid. Make sure you get that out of the way first, and then you're smooth sailing. So, Clearinghouse, check. Okay, 9th and 10th grade, get in touch with these coaches, get yourself out there, start going to these ID camps, start getting a feel for how they work. It's a very compacted experience. It's not like your normal trade. You have to go in and show yourself in a very small amount of time. Get a feel for what that's like. Get an understanding of how you play in those scenarios and get a feel for how best to show yourself. So after that, we've got that, and then we're looking at video. We're looking at creating a little bit of a video. 10th grade, maybe into early 11th, but that's something we want to get out. That's going to be your foot in the door. You send that out to the schools you're interested in, and you say, look, here's what I can do. Here's a holistic view of my game. On the ball, off the ball, in the air, in a tackle, all that type of stuff. Get yourself out there more than just, the ball hitting the back of the net. Coaches are hip to that. They want to see a more well-rounded player, and they want to see everything that you can do. Get that out there. And then supplement that with your resume and, a personalized email. Don't blast some sort of blanket, I'm interested in your school, I like soccer, nobody cares about that. Give them something personal. Look, I'm interested in coming to your program, and I know this, and this about you. I know the conference. I know the type of style you play. Here's how I fit into that. Here's my resume, my accomplishments. Here's where I'll be. All of a sudden, now you're a part of that conversation. Okay? And then, after that, go play. Go play. Go enjoy yourself. This should be a fun journey, and this is a journey that we would love to take with you, but we understand that it can be a little stressful, and we want to help facilitate that. When you're picking schools, think about schools that fit you as a player and as a person, and also the tough conversation to have with yourself or with coaches or with your friends or with whomever is to be realistic. Be realistic about where you think you can play, where you think you'll fit in well. Look, there's top programs all over the country. We understand that, and we're in Charlottesville. So you ask any kid that's ever played soccer in Charlottesville, and they say, "I want to go to EVA." Coach Swanson, Coach Gale on the Watch don't take every single kid that bangs on their door, because that's every single kid in the country. You have to understand that. And you have to understand that there's great programs everywhere. You have to find the right fit for you. It's absolutely more important that you find a place that fits you soccer-wise, where you'll be happy, a place that fits you socially, and whatever that means to you, whether it's geography, whether it's distance to home, and also a place that satisfies your academic needs. And the reason academics become important are that soccer programs have a limited amount of scholarships on the men's and the women's side for the entire program. So, let's say it's 15, and a full scholarship is 3 of those 15 money-wise. Okay, so if someone eats up those 3, that means there's only 12 scholarship points, if you will, left for the 20-man squad. Okay, so there's every opportunity that coaches look at and say, look, I don't know, we can't offer you any money, or we're not sure we can get them without any money. Well, and this is what's happened with a couple old teammates of mine. If you can get academic money, all of a sudden that lessens the strain on them, and now all of a sudden there you go. You're back in the fold. You're back in the conversation. So if you're a player that's going to watch this, your parents will read you the riot act about your grades. I get it. I've been there. If you're a parent, good on you. But suffice to say, it is important. And it is important to continue to keep your grades up, and it does have more of an effect on your athletic career than you might think. All in all, what I want you guys to get from this is that the recruiting process shouldn't be mysterious. It shouldn't be something that you guys go into blind. It shouldn't be something that you don't feel like you have a good handle on. You should be able to drive this ship. This is your journey. It's exciting. It's a lot of fun, and it's something that you should be excited about, not stressed out over. And we want to be... Great. Grades are... I want to win Mary. Grades are vital. You guys can't see the comments. I'm responding to the comments. I clearly haven't done this before. This is something that we want to demystify, and we want to be a reliable resource for you guys. So check us out, on Instagram. Check us out here on Facebook. If you have any questions at all, email us, info, info at gradumacademy.com. Drop us a line. Let us know how we can help. Let us know, who your player is, where they are. If they're in the Charlottesville area, get in touch with me personally. Love to see him play and start training. If they're up in Northern Virginia, that's Willie's territory, and he'll hobble himself out. I think he just had hip surgery or something. He's having old guy problems, but he'll hobble out there, and we'll get training. And we're going to run a large academy session in the summer, which we're really excited about, with more details to follow. But again, info at gradumacademy.com. Check out the website, www.gradumacademy.com. I hope this has been useful. Leave us some comments in here. Again, hit us in the email. Send us a message if you have my number. Send me a text. Lloyd, Willie got a replacement hip. It's a whole terrible thing. But again, main things we want you to take from this is start earlier than you might think. And start your training, start your development, start your weight training. Give yourself a good head start, and then in the recruiting game, right around 9th, 10th grade. Get yourself out there and start making moves. Take control of this. Don't wait for it to happen to you. We wish you the best of luck. Please get in touch with us. We're really excited to be a part of this. Aaron, I will send you details, I promise. Thank you guys here that are watching. I told you I'd get you out before the debate. You got about 40 minutes to prep your arguments, and we will hopefully see you soon. We'll try and do another one next week where we'll talk a little bit more about the training. We'll try and get Yannick and Alan and the specialists in that section to talk a little bit more about how to weight train, what the technology does specifically, maybe get some demos. I'm making a lot of promises that I hope my staff can fulfill. Anyway, you guys are great. I really appreciate it. Have a good night.